kidding. Welcome back, my most ethical light and love crew. Welcome, 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 welcome back. All right. So it is, what, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. I have no freaking clue now because the last hour or so I spent trying to find help to jumpstart my car. I thought I was ready. Like, you could freaking prepare for, like, anticipated disasters, and still, it's not the, like, conclusion that, how do I say it? Things don't fall as a plan. Like, dude, the last time my battery died, I had to, like, I told you my little spiels, on what had happened. It was, like, compounded, trials, with my car. And, that was just, like, the straw on the camel's back. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to charge my car, whatever. And I'm going to charge this battery that I found. I cleaned off the battery, off of the rat shit and all of that. I cleaned off my battery, charged it up into full. And then I stored it in my trunk, like, okay, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have it. I'm going to, I'm going to get myself out of a rut the next time this happens. Guess what? The first time I used it... it couldn't even hold that low battery portion. So I don't know what happened to it, but I could not get myself out of that rut with a reliance of that battery. Like, thinking that I was all prepared. Like, how are you supposed to, like, gauge having to test a resource that, you've already kind of, like, how do I say it? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, okay? Like, how is one to know to test a battery that you've already fully charged with, like, legitimately for, like, hours and hours and hours? Dude. So I had to, like, I waited at this local shop. They would not open the doors because it was, like, late in the evening. So regardless of how I was dressed or presented myself, like, I was still some crazy person in Irvine, like, that's how you're, like, stranger danger, right? Anyway, then I got security to come. Security couldn't do it because the car is owned by, somebody else, so they have certain regulations in that, because that's not the service that they provide. Certain instructions, whatever. So then the security helped me by, like, scouting out somebody else down the road, like, on the other side of the area, which would have been, like, a pretty long way for me to walk to, like, hopefully get somebody wait out till, like, their closing shift hour when they want to go home. Anyway, he got a homeless couple to help me out. And, like, it's just, like, all these things had happened. And I was trying not to cry about it, just, like, waiting, for the possibility of somebody to help me out. Dude, there's, like, a double-edged sword living in Irvine. Like, how many people have Priuses, How many people have, like, hybrids, you know what I mean? So it's all okay. And, the first person that I was gonna ask was, like, a customer from, in a nearby shop, and she was so willing to help me out because she didn't want to leave me stranded. But I looked it up on the web, and it said not to charge, like, electrical cars, like, even hybrids, even if it's, it says something like that. If it's at the very top, like, it says not to do that because it can ruin the electric system over time if it's done too many times. So I didn't want to put her out because, like, dude, I didn't buy her car. I didn't invest in her car. And she was so willing to, like, help me out. But I had to at least offer the courtesy of looking it up before I did that. I would feel really bad if something happened on their side. So anyway, I just emphasized it, even though she has, like, a hybrid prime or something like that. I forget how she called it, but, I couldn't put her out like that, even though there was no stipulation on, a certain thing. So anyway, I think it was a good, like, also learning opportunity for her to like let that weigh in on her, just knowing that like I didn't want her to have buyer's remorse. So I wanted to give her like that impression that as much as you'd like to help someone, you can't put yourself out like by against your own future. So like I know that she would have regretted if something had happened to her car. It would always like draw back to this like, you know, this instance where like she fumbled a bit just because of wanting to help another person out. Little old me, under 5 foot, you know, in the evening. So anyway, there's a moth in here. Like there's all kinds of signs. I can't talk about all of them because these are secret connections, secret societies that get me out of certain ruts that are just like, I mean, I could have called my insurance, but that could have made me wait another hour, you know? And so sometimes I let things organically happen within the locality. And I'm happy the way things unfolded the way they did. So, anyway, I was drawn to like doing another reading over here. And what was the question? Oh, how do you inspire others? Holy smokes. While I eat my ceviche that my son and I had made, instead of with chips, because they get a little salty sometimes, I'm doing crackers. Okay, I think that'll work for me. Honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to go live on here, because it just opened up, and I thought you were supposed to have like 1,000 subscribers or something. I'm like, that's a long way from now. You never know. I could be an overnight sensation. Maybe the universes are bending the rules for me. Talk about flexibility. Anyway, I choose to be happy. That's my choice. I reckon we're gonna save another day. So Spirit, I invite you in. Jesus Christ, you're such a good friend. Tell me what's up, okay? Oh, I hear a high-pitched ringing on my right ear. Thank you. You're so sweet. Okay. All right. So we're going to answer the question. Jesus, are you okay with me using the sexual magic tarot to answer this question? I feel like there's a variety of ways, in like abstract way in reading, so give me a second. Let me put it all together and see what do I get. What's that song? Like, put it all together. I think it's like a patty cake song, like down, down, baby, down, down, the roller coaster, sweet, sweet, baby, sweet, sweet, don't let me go, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, right. I got a boyfriend, a biscuit, he's so. What? No, is it? I don't remember. It's been so long. Okay, so we're going to ask the question. Jesus Christ. Okay. How do you inspire others? How do I inspire others? Okay. Gotta ask, because I love myself. An invitation. Not just any, but a special one coming out of the cave. You see? Just a reminder. A picturesque view. And here's the bullet-pointed view. Okay? Some people think, like, there's all kinds of rules to us. Like, you gotta do this, but then you can't do that. And then you gotta do this, but then... but there's something very welcoming, still. just very particular about our energy. So I think the way we inspire others is that we set the tone and we lay down the law. This could be fairly new to us, you know, our establishments, but it's made quite clear what you will tolerate. And a lot of this is done energetically. Like, people can read it in your auras. Like, it's like the freaking Matrix auras surrounding you. That's what I'm getting here. That's what it looks like like that. Okay, and once you size that up and like stand back, it's kind of like those picture illusion things where where did I put it? Let me see if I can get that out. Give me a second. Is it here? Ah, Tina, where did you do it? It's a picture illusion book. I don't know. Dude, it's somewhere here. Give me a second. I gotta slide on over. Of course, my stuff I need to deal with today. I don't know. I wasn't gonna get back on her, but like I said, I don't know when they're gonna close up, you know, this venue for me to practice lives now. It's so hot in here. Give me a second. So when you stand back, you can see the picture. Really focus on all of these things, all that data. It'll give you a better picture of what's going on there. So how do we inspire others? It's being I don't think it's 100% about being eloquent, because we're not catering the language to those who have like special ears to get the point across. This is relatability, understanding the various ways in order to speak love language. So it's like a universal language with all the gestures that we put out into the world. Carrying on with more precision, with more moves, more gestures that we make into this world. It becomes clearer and clearer to see how we shine. Yeah, I believe so. All right, where's the rest of the cards? Oh, there we go. There we are. Okay. Jesus Christ. How do I inspire others? That's a lot. Okay. First off, Knight of Swords. Oh, this is moving quick. Things escalate. When we do things, oh my gosh. When I get upset, shit starts to happen. Like, things happen. When I've had my fill, things happen. People like the movement. They don't like to wait around. Okay? There's like a sweet spot in it, right? People don't like change, but they do like that roller coaster. They cannot deny it. They like, you know, the frequencies of like, whoa, that's crazy. Oh my God. No, I can't believe she did that. Oh my God, you did that? Oh, what? He said, what? They like that. They like that. You can't lie. So there's a sweet spot with all of that. Things get stale. So People like change if you can like see how do I say it? You know who's here? People who have like, who are thrill seekers. 100%. That's how we inspire others. Life has gotten a little stale, let me tell you. Especially like I'm eating crackers. I had to open up a new one just because the old ones were done with. I killed it. But people like to even live vicariously with someone like just kind of speeding through it. You know? That's what it's telling me. Anyway, 5 of Swords inverted for the second time. 8 of Swords inverted. Ace of Cups inverted. 6 of Wands inverted. And the Stars inverted. What? Okay. Okay. What did we say this was? How do we inspire others? But like, what do we say about the 5? Let's take a look. This is backtracking almost. So, okay. A lot of people that might think initially we're vain or conceited or whatever the case. What do they say? Like, this is covert narcissism, where people try to project that terminology onto us because they have such a distaste for us. But what happens with that is that there's no other category that they can place us, so they're just going to shove us in that corner. And so that's okay, because it makes things so much more obvious on the outer scale. So what makes us so inspiring? Why others? What was the exact questioning of this? Like, how do we inspire others? Okay. I think there's a polarizing effect in that. Once you see something so obviously laid out, and others' aversion, kind of like combating with our energy, you know, trying to pick a fight, but almost like passive aggressive, it becomes more and more obvious. Like, dude, you know, that's a winner. We have 6185, followed by the star card here. So that's an angel number here is what I'm seeing, because there's a lot of hope. It's not just saying that like we're shining and there's a lot of hope on the horizon, but also embedded within us. So 6185 is definitely telling me that that's an angel number here. So how do we inspire others? I think it's just having absolute confidence in ourselves, and it's not relative to anybody else, but just knowing what we're doing and standing proud with it, and being resistant to anybody else. Like 8 of Swords is like being stuck, like having a sensation, that experience of being stuck and like not being able to get out of the situation when you're fully capable of doing that. So it's being resistant to like anything else, that like giving yourself ultimate love. Ace of Cups for sure. And that's the success story in itself. So how we are, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, it's some things we can be stubborn with, you know, and if you're going to choose to be stubborn with anything, this is where it's at. Absolutely. So ain't nothing wrong with having confidence in self, and not letting anyone kind of budge you out of that scenario. You set the stage, you set the scene, and the spotlight's on you when you take up that space. Yeah. I'm not just a supporting actor. I used to be an NPC, you know, and now I'm taking up the scene. So What else you gotta say, Spirit? Hold on. I need to eat this. Give me a second. There's a lot of lime in there. Ten of Swords in reverse. Destiny in reverse. They call it the wheel. Eight of Wands in reverse. And a King of Cups. Oh, hey, Jesus Christ, what's up? This is a Phoenix story. A rising Phoenix story. Like, what's bound to happen after, you know, get stabbed several times, you know? You know, it's not just, oh, like, you look all raggedy and jagged and janky or whatever after people have, like, tried to jump you without the intention of initiating you, you know, in. So there's, like, a special circumstance to us or something? Yeah, because, like, people psyched us out X amount of times. And so there's something very special that is not being concealed yet. There's something undetermined about us because we're a special circumstance. It's not just by what the divine has called us out to do or what, you know, we're destined to do, but also with how people treated us. So it's like, if you're going to get this facet of bullshit, you might as well get the, you know, the direct end of that too, the dichotomy of that, which is something supreme, that there's something, it's definitely treated like a special circumstance. Okay, so what others find inspiring about us is that it's like they picked up a book and they got a taste for it, then they put it down, and they're like, it's lingering in their mind, this little seedling, because of what they're going through in life. And like, or they get bored of whatever's happening in their life, and then they're like, they get back to the book, and they're like, oh, that's strange. Or like, oh, I know what she's talking about, or he's talking about. And like, they invest a little bit longer in it, and then they put it down again, and they're like, okay, that's enough of that. Like, oh, that must be nicer, whatever. It's very interesting, but okay, I got to get to this stuff. And then they're like, oh, they have a point. I can see what they're talking about now, and they're right about that. So the people like are kind of coming into the awareness every time that they cross our paths, or, you know, there's something about our energy where they pick it up again somehow, whether it's physically, you know, whether it's, you know, here, like physically, in crossing paths, or energetically or electronically or whatever, even just with a thought process, bringing forth that energy. And I can definitely speak to that because I've talked about old energies before and I did not want to discuss it, but even just bringing back the topic of, like, even in the remote degree of, like, speaking in third person or whatever, distancing myself through words, dude, you don't know. It's crazy. So, yeah, shit happens, like, not in that manner, not in a good way. Not. Definitely not. Like, if I wanted to put somebody through hell, I would give them that energy. But, like, I haven't done that. It's that bad. So, Yeah, there's something about picking up this energy again. So it inspires, we inspire people to believe in more than what's kind of like laid out in front of them. Or like a, sci-fi fantasy book or something like that. Yeah, because the King of Cups here is almost like giving me that vibe. So, there are secrets here. Huh. Okay. Interesting. It's like the never-ending story. It's enchanting. Is what I'm saying. Dude, when I told you about that guy that was supposed to like move out or whatever, he didn't want me to know his last name and suddenly appeared today. Like, dude, do you see like how snappy that is? And then there's songs that appear from my playlist at work. Out of like, just seriously, the things that I channel in. They want to go shh. They don't want to make it that obvious, but they want me to know. Devil energy is accentuated here. That's the only one that turned up. Frick. So, Knight of Pentacles accentuated, Knight or Page of Cups accentuated, Death accentuated, Page of Wands accentuated, and Seven of Pentacles accentuated. And then on top of that, Nine of Wands inverted, if not muted. This reminds me of like a chessboard. Like, I don't play chess, but the methodology behind it is that there's so many frontliners here, like coming up to stand, coming up to witness. So, we have people that will stand up for us, that will, when we rise to the occasion, we stand up for ourselves. There's like this very aggressive, fixed energy, like very passionate. Let me tell you, like the fire is lit. Have no mistake about that, because center point is the death card. Oh shoot! What just dropped? The Page of Cups, which is right there. Okay. So there are different characters here. There's some like the absolute front liners are the ones that are very like thoughtful. Like, we have a crew of our own, okay? So they could be thought-provoking, but they're very considerate. At least to us they are. Yeah. Oh, these are the people that ask how you're doing, if you made sure, like, if you're working like long hours, if you had anything to eat, did you go on your lunch yet, etc. These are the people that check up on you, for sure. And because they know that sometimes, like, it can be a long journey, or it can be like a little rugged sometimes, and not that it's like showing on you or anything, but like, it doesn't have to show on you for them to ask. That's sweet. Yes, for sure. And then there are certain admirers that kind of get down on themselves a little bit on how they communicate with you, because these are pages with their love. So it's like they keep tearing pages from their book, like, oh, I didn't get that. Like, they're a little hard on themselves when it comes to conversing with us, but they'll definitely show it for us. Those are the frontmen. And they'll take the good, they take the bad, but at the same time, when looking at death, it's like they know that there's only so many that will wield this kind of power. So they like the fact that it's for good reason. Like, we use our power for good reason. And right behind it, the Page of Wands. Okay, of course, people that want to start something too. There's another way to read this, though. Oh my gosh, people that are playing the long game with us. Yeah, Page of Wands, and right behind it, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so regardless of their agenda, okay, there's admirers in different levels, okay, and they know what we represent, what we bring to the table, and they're all for it. They're all for backing that type of energy. It's a little scary, though. They admit. But they'd rather be on that side and know that being on that side normally with any other person, any other energy would be scary. Like, you're more there for the sake of, like, not living, how do you say it? Like, they show up for us, not out of fear, but quite the opposite. It's very trustworthy energy. They believe in it. Oh, that's sweet. So others are inspired by us because of the energy that we have. It's very much killer energy. Like, magnetizing, like, what, at the same time, it's like a mystery. It's magnetizing. Yeah, because it's like they haven't picked a book up like this ever. So I wouldn't say hard to read, but in its own genre. Yeah. I know it's like genre, so I think there's somebody named John here. Yeah. Anyway, Nine of Wands inverted. Yep. Because I would say that's very much respectable energy, because if you have a history of people picking on you or like bagging on you or like just giving you a hard time with all of these projections, the common man or a common person would fight back and be aggro and want to take down that energy more directly, more aggressively. But the way we do it is very different. It's something like we show up for ourselves, but at the same time, it's not in the effect of throwing down, the immediacy of throwing down. This is more like not, the way we do it is not like running with our tail between our legs. That's what it's saying here. Yeah, I'll show up and I'm not scared of you. Like, I understand all the possibilities, all of like the things that could happen in this work atmosphere. Like, anything can happen. And there may be a reality where you try to fuck me up or something like that, but I don't know. Like, I just know that I'm very much protected. And anyone who dares to do anything really like foul to me, something happens before they can do that or desire to do that or have the ability to do that or on their way. Like something happens where they end up getting fucked over. Like it floors them. It puts them in their place. I don't know how, but I guess the team's got it covered, you know? So, I guess what people find inspiring about us is to have that kind of power is like, it's crazy when you're not prompting things to happen. People just show up for you and they get stuff handled. Okay. Let's say this card. Six of Swords. Mm-hmm. I find our presence very calming. Sometimes, you know, inspiration comes from a place you can find peace. Not just find peace, but experience it. People pay for that shit, you know what I mean? And people pay for like extravagant vacations, not just so that they can talk about and elaborate and like bullshit, you know, water cooler talk on like, you know, in different venues, but they do it because it's also a legit way for them to find like a sense of sacredness with all the hectic stuff going on. They don't have to talk about anything. They can just freaking relax. They pay big bucks for that. So people will energetically do that for me. That's sweet. When it comes down to it. So I don't know why it is that I experience fear in doing this or that or getting from here to there. I don't understand it sometimes. Maybe it's just a natural thing that like I just need to like wiggle out of. I mean, 20 years of being in a relationship can do a lot of things and undo a lot of things. So I have to give myself some wiggle room. I mean, for the past 3 years, like I've grown so much. And so I got to give myself some credit. Like 3 years, 20 years, you know what I mean? Like you got to put it into perspective. And I need to stop being so hard on myself. Two of Wands. Yeah, sizing yourself up correctly. So energetically, people are kind of like telling us like, hey, you got this. Like, seriously? Like, I have someone like talking to me about what I just divulged. Like, come on, wake up. You've heard the voicemails. You've seen the like any film footage that you have. You've seen the like now that you can read energy and you can look back on the photographs, you can see like the digital impression of somebody that didn't love you, that loved themselves way more, that you were just like fluff in the picture. You know what I mean? That they were you remember how you invested in yourself in that venue or whatever, in that area of life, and that was, you can seriously give yourself some credit. That was a lot of time spent. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, like you're shooting yourself in the head here. So, there's a lot of harm done in the allowance for that. That was constant, like, bullet in the head, like Russian roulette, living in fear with the decisions that were made, with how you lived. Like, seriously, yeah. What's a good example, Spirit, of like, oh, okay. So, my ex, like I, this is a variation of slut shaming, basically. They would have like lots of family events on his side, as well as, on my side of the family, but we carried on different ways in how we presented ourselves. So my side, likes to do like the pictures, like all together, huge family all together, and variations of it, and I wouldn't say we're like fully showy. We just like that festive atmosphere where like everybody gets in their best, like, show up as their best self, and we're gonna capture that. And this, and he talked down upon it, so much so that when there were events on his side, I could no longer like wear heels, or I could no longer dress up. I wasn't supposed to put on, like, what's the point of putting on makeup, or doing my hair? I I was guided to, or positioned to, dumb myself down. So much so that I don't even recognize myself looking back at pictures. I was very much unhappy. Yeah. And I don't know what else. Oh, so like the bullet in the head thing is in that constancy of allowing someone to sway you, like, it was not good for me. That was very unhealthy, for a lot of years. So do you see that? Like, there's shotgun. I know this is like mounted and on the wall in the back, but see, like, seriously, that's what it's showing us. And then so this other energy, or energies, because they don't just go by one name, especially when you start to see yourself and show up at the table, sit at the table, there are others that'll join you, when you bring in that energy, even if you still have like a little bit of that baggage left, like lingering behind, like that's the only thing. That there are straight shooters out there that will, assist. Like, it's like Sagittarius energy almost, with that direct thought process. Yeah, for sure. So what others find so inspiring about us is that they know that they can be direct with us like they can with no one else. Yeah, like no other. Yeah, there's a common understanding there. There are 3 of Wands. Next up. Yeah, there's a common ground to the way we walk, because both of their left legs have like a ribbon tied around them. Okay, individually, not like together. So, but there's a certain match when, in relation to the symbology of that left foot. So it's when we don't, because we'd say like the left side isn't the least dominant side. So when we don't make that like that perfect step forward into anything, or if we're like, okay, there's an implication of, you know, stepping in with your right foot, then your left foot, positioning as all in. There's a likeness within both realms, whether we set off on the wrong foot or like the less dominant foot, or a positioning where we're all in, like we understand each other on that front. So when we say our ships are coming in, or our ships are like arriving, it's kind of arriving towards each other, like arriving towards an understanding, a better comprehension of each other. So what face that is 3 of Swords and Temperance. Yeah, there's kind of, I wouldn't say it's like, what do you call it? You know, when you're like in a disastrous situation, I forget what they call it. Trauma bonding, that's what it is. So this is not like people from the outside at center point, they're just going to look in the middle and like, oh, they're just trauma bonded. It's not really about that. Because you don't say like, oh, people who like the genre of drama in movies, like, oh, they're trauma bonded, or people who like murder mysteries or whatever, oh, they're trauma bonded. You know, we don't fixate in absolute form here. This is saying at the center point, what brings there's something about, okay, the alchemization is, how do I say it? There's circumstances which bring people together. So we're not going to frown upon the situation if it's one where we can understand each other on that level, because that's not completely what defines it. It's just the initiating point of it. Yeah. Like, it's like being at a crossroads. We have master number 33 here. It's like being at the right place at the right time. But there's something twisted about it. Like, it doesn't sound or feel perfect because there's chaos going on as center point. It's kind of like walking into a tornado or a hurricane, and that's the eye of it. Like, you're walking towards that 3 of Swords. There's something twisted about it. In its like concept. That's what they're telling me. Okay, I don't need to decipher anything more out of that. Okay, let me see here. Let me show you something. I have an obey picture here that just showed me, I don't know why, I never really paid attention, it's just something fixated on it. It's like support your choice. So we do have supporters here for real, not just people like dropping in, you know, dropping out, whatever. Let me show you, okay? Oopsie. Am I showing it? See? So I just saw like this part of it, support choice, and then like pointing forward. So give me a second. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, can you see stuff? Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. Where did I put that? Right here. Anyway, just kind of Just over on the horizon. All right. So, what do others find so inspiring about us? Jesus Christ. That one. Okay. Oh, it's the High Priestess. Oh, it's because we know. We're not just in the know. We're the ones that, like, we don't just make the headliners, but we're the horse's mouth. we're the ones speaking the truth. So, like, it's story time. Okay. So there's something very giving about that. Very abundant. Like, it, people feed off of that energy. I don't know. I'm seeing her bosoms here and they're just popping. So, there's something like giving about that. Like, there's keys in one hand, which is the recipient hand. So she's given the keys. Oh my gosh. And they're like scissors. Let me show you. See? They're like scissors. Yeah. So we know how to cut people out, but we also, and sometimes that can act as a turnkey. Excuse me. So definitely. And there's something about the way we walk. There's sound to it. There's something very audible about the steps that we take. So there's something vibrations within the ethers. It's like footprints on the moon, kind of. Yeah. That there's like a gravitational pull. Like oh yeah. Okay, so the moon in relation to its influence in the bodies of water. Water is about, like, you know, the intuition, the intuitive bodies. So there's something about like those footprints, the vibrations about the steps that we take that affect, positively impact directly the intuitive bodies of the collective. So there's one thing about having that power and holding that power and knowing that power, but doing it is amazing. Yeah. Because the High Priestess is absolutely independent. Absolutely. She could be any of the queens in disguise. Amplified, though. I feel like the High Priestess could be anything she wants to be. She's positioned here like Little Red Riding Hood. Not little, though. Oh, grown because she's encountered so many wolves. Oh, and tamed them. Oh my gosh. Because there's a kitten at her feet. Yeah. So to her, and only for her, are the wolves like kittens. That's sweet. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. Oh, Seven of Cups. There's something secret that goes on in the astral planes for sure. Ten of Pentacles. So crap. Yeah. I could King of Swords right after. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I could go anywhere. Anywhere. Anything is possible. Oh, we have 107 here. Again. Between the King of Swords and the Hermit. The Hermit is also, I'm being reminded of another comeback energy from that he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows who he is, and he knows. But yeah, there's gosh, like there's so many networks. Like people know of each other. What do you want to say about this, dude? I don't even, how do I even put this into words, Jesus? Seriously. This is, I mean, this is saying is like, how could they not find us inspiring? It's not like, how do they find us inspiring, or like what, how others are inspired by us, but it's, there's like, people dream about us because we have like the night, dark night of the soul, like the evening, like it's a hermit, right? Your private quarters, basically, your private thoughts, your innermost like guiding points. And we have the Seven of Cups right behind it, which is being in a dream state. It's decisions, it's options. But like this combo is basically talking about your dream state and the astral realm, especially with the Ten of Pentacles right behind it. Like you could do anything. you can you can go anywhere. I mean, especially with the King of Swords right behind it. This is saying, okay, you can do anything. Like you just think of the possibilities. It's there, okay? You can basically premeditate and set up the stage for what you want to happen in real life, and you can for sure definitely know that it will come into fruition. There's no doubt about it. That's what's coming, okay? And then the King of Swords right behind it is like, you can go anywhere. That's a strong thought process there. It's very, very fixed. So these are very abundant cards as far as manifestation. Because if it goes on within a certain dimension, especially within our subconscious state, like the untapped energy of our brain power, and knowing that our hearts also have brains, and understanding that, what is it, an octopus has whatever, how many hearts or brains or whatever, but understanding the sentience, that untapped potential within us, it's very much tapped here. Like we can play the freaking piano or like chopsticks, and it like we can pull some strings and make stuff happen. Which means that there's communication also with others within that realm. Like it trips people out when they didn't intend to dream about us, or like anything that we've talked about, yet it happens in their dream. Sorry. It happens in their dream state. It's really trippy. Yeah. They don't know how the energy is broken up with, but it's like the all access pass. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. They're talking about the all access pass of like, how is it broken down into this energy here, where like things kind of like are half alive here, yet there's also like, I know it's coming from you. You know what I mean? Like Six of Pentacles, like there's reciprocity in there. So there's an energetic intertwine there, like tango. Yeah. That's very interesting. I'm hearing tango and cash. I don't know what that means. I know that's a movie, I think. Okay, they went these two. I feel like it's the last two, and I'll look at the top and the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups and the Tower card. Okay. So, what others find so inspiring about us also, is that goodbye, Felicia energy. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. goodbye energy. I mean, I'm seeing like snippets of in sync, bye, bye, bye. I mean, there's so many ways in which we can say goodbye. Okay. And when there's absolute energy in wanting people wanting to like take us down, not just take us down a notch, but like, you know, when you're like a lumberjack, I think, you have to take out like a certain slice in order for there to be a space. It's not just like hack, hack, hack. There's a certain slice of the pie that you have to take away in order for that huge thing to like fall down. So, people wanting to take a slice and bail out and like, you know, wanting to like have us, you know, fall over basically. There's something about that energy, like so adamant in making that happen that there's no more niceties except to like make fun of the situation when you say goodbye. So your our efforts in saving, not saving face, but saving grace is throwing down with that energy like goodbye, 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 goodbye. You know, you got to have a sense of humor when in certain situations. There's a time and place for everything, and that is it. So the way we assert ourselves when it comes to very hostile, very like unforgiving, stubborn energy is people like how we say goodbye, goodbye, done, okay, yeah, okay, got it, oh, okay, good, bye, bye, okay, bye, okay, bye, that's it. So we hang up the phone, like, bye, okay, yeah, okay, bye, bye, okay, bye. That's what we do. So people find that inspiring because it's like, what else can you do? Bottom of the deck is 7 of Swords. We got that earlier before my car. All right, my battery died. 7 of Swords again. In reverse. Or not in reverse. It's making a steal. I feel like it's stealing home base. People like that energy, that winter energy where you just like that last second win. Where, you know, that what do you got? Like certain dude, I don't do sports seriously, so like I seriously bullshitting you. So it's you know, that last half second and you make that swoosh and it just happens. Like the crowd roars. It's it's like that. I wish I could make it more picturesque for you, but you already know the storyline in your head of like what victory looks like in that like last second of whatever sport you like. It's like that. So, people are watching like at stadium level, far away. And they can see it still happening for us. Oh, that's so cool. Definitely, definitely. Like their hands are tied. Like it's like they're kind of like fiddling, like, you know, like just like they're anxious because they can see it happening, and it's like I want to do this for this person, but like I know what's best. I've been there, and even though we're just talking about my like case study of a situation, and to each their own, and maybe like if I help then it could help, but at the same time like I know what happened for my situation, so I'm just, let's see what happens when like I stay put and I just energetically observe and, you know, send good vibes that way, because like energy is energy. So even if you're in the stands, and we can't personally identify from the field to each and every person out there, like, you know, identifying exactly who they are, there's a certain ambiance and presence that's created. And it gives like it on different levels on both sides. So I'd say that's inspiring. People want to show up. Chariot energy. It's go time. Like it's go, go, go energy. But without feeling rushed. This is like an adrenaline rush. Didn't we just talk about something about like speed demons? Like I forget how we said it. Something about thrills. Thrill seekers, yeah. Thrill seekers. It's that. So people kind of lightly nudging us like, you know, wake up. Wake up. It's time to go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do bananagrams right now. I mean, I got like 10% battery or something like that, so I'll learn my lesson with the battery situation. And the last card, 8 of Pentacles. Again, go out there and get them. You have a soul mission, a soul purpose. I understand that. Okay, time to go. Yep. Oh, we have master number 77 here. By the way things are cut. 7 of Swords and then the Chariot energy. Oh, it's definitely making a steal. Home run. Okay. All right. Now that this reading is officially over, yada da 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 da. I think all my supporters and sponsors of Divine Light and Love, and the moth that led me here, the stick moth, whatever, that appeared here, and it laid. The only place I saw it, I was watching it for a long time, but it rested upon the altar cloth, so it was time. I was motioned to do this reading. Yeah, thank you for respecting my time, my space, energy, my work, my health and wellness, and that of our children's. So, upon closing all portals, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with that rollout. All kinds of karma. It's due. Okay. In light and love, I close all portals.